Hey there, Wendy. Yeah, you know, that new car you're looking at, that used car may look like a really good deal. And as you take a look at the outside, everything may look really good. But what you really should be paying attention to is what's on the inside of the car. Yeah, well, while we go to the pumps to fill up, it's amazing. Gas prices are awesome, but actually means less money for the state's biggest industry, and that has a trickle-down effect across our state. This issue was divisive, and it was hard fought. Here's just an example. This is one of the full-page ads. This is another taken out encouraging the governor to veto House Bill 3399. This is an online Facebook page full of parents who wanted the governor to sign House Bill 3399. For both groups, now the question, what happens next? Hey, we got, you know, tens of thousands of people out here. We're used to seeing the food trucks and the lots of people, but tonight is a first. Let me show you. This is a voter registration zone where folks can come by and change their registration. They can get registered to vote. Hi, Mike. Good evening to you. You can see the charred ground here. This fire burned right up to this fence right here, then burned right through the fence, through their backyard, and right up to the edge of the home. But firefighters today say their biggest obstacle wasn't the weather. Yeah, it's not too bad here, but as we were heading down through that I-44 interchange with all the loops, you know, when people are trying to merge, it's a mess, it's bumpy, it's not great. And now actually the cars we may be buying may delay construction projects here in the state. Now, while the winds were very high, temperatures were comfortably warm, oddly enough, for a lot of the firefighters that were here. Very glad that we weren't in the 90s. Meteorologist Kyle Roberts with us now. And Kyle, even could see some of these fires on the radar today. The Oklahoma State Department of Education this week announced it will start posting a new catalog of information online. A spokesman says that the move is to increase transparency across the state. Now, there will be more than 100 reports posted on that website, including district-wide ACT scores to things like finance reports. Now, at the same time, this week, Oklahoma Watch reports that nearly half of school districts don't report high school graduation rates. If you're interested, we've posted a link to the new reports on our website. It's okcfox.com. Now we head down to Murray County for what we hope may be the final time on this story. That rock slide that closed parts of I-35 back in June has been cleared, and the good news, that road is back open. If you couldn't believe it, here's your proof right there, courtesy ODOT. Contractors hauled away thousands of tons of rock away from the site. It's all being crushed at a nearby quarry. Now, the work isn't quite finished. The contractor will actually be back in October to install rock bolts to keep rocks from falling again like they did in June, but that work is only expected to close the right shoulder. Oil stocks this week took a tumble after quarterly earnings reports that were not pleasant. Chesapeake this week reported a second quarter loss of $4.11 billion. That sent the stock tumbling late Wednesday, but rallied toward the end of the week to break even for the last 5 days. Devon Energy also reporting a second quarter loss of about $2.8 billion. That news also affecting DVN, its stock finishing down slightly on the week. Power's out as the temperature soars for hundreds of people west of the metro. We're now in hour number 30 of having no AC, no lights, no electricity of any kind. Fox 25's Jordan Lucero went to Tecumseh to see the problem. She joins us live with now how people are coping. Good evening to you, Jordan.
Fighting to stay cool while fighting fire. The folks at the Oklahoma City Fire Department, like most of us, are trying to cope with the intense heat.
Except they're having to deal with fires at the same time. Fox 25's Meredith Kell are here to show us some of these brave men and women. They know they're going into fires, but in triple-digit heat, it's got to be unbelievable.
Yeah, they've trained for...
We begin this evening in Norman. That's where bullets are coming through windows in one neighborhood.
And how it's happening has police concerned. Fox 25's Keaton Fox is here with us in the studio to explain why. Keaton?
Well, Wendy, Norman police say that this neighborhood that you see here is being hit by straight bullets. To kind of orient you here, this is the South Canadian River, this is 48, and this is Maine on Norman's far west and south side. Now, this area down here is where Norman police say folks are going to shoot those guns for target practice, for fun, whatever the case may be. But now a home right here and a home right here have been hit 2 times by bullets, and people are now concerned with what may happen next.
The bullet came in right here through the glass, the double-paned glass.
Kelly Lang couldn't figure out what hit her window until she found this, a .40 caliber bullet under a table in her living room.
I was in the kitchen and heard the loud noise and didn't know what it was, and came in here and saw glass and blinds blown into the living room.
The bullet shattered her dining room window and put a chip in her blinds. Peggy Wright lives on the next street over and has a similar story.
It shot through the first pane, but it hit the crossbar.
Again, thankfully, no one was hurt. And the kicker to all this is that these are not the homes that are being hit by the gunfire that are right here next to the river, which is just on the other side of these trees. It's homes that are several rows in that are being hit. It makes the situation that much more dangerous. Norman Police Captain Tom Easley.
We want it to stop. And again, hopefully the message is clear. Don't go down and target practice on the river. Simply do not do it. It's illegal and it's dangerous.
Easley says many people mistaken the river just beyond these trees here as public property when it isn't. And he says while guns can be fired legally in some areas of the city, this is not one of those areas because of how close it is to the homes.
There are constantly people outside. There are constantly kids riding bikes, playing in yards, I don't know. I don't think that the people who were shooting the guns could live with the consequences of their actions.
Scary stuff. Norman police tell me that 3 people have been arrested and charged with reckless conduct with a firearm in this case. Those folks told police they didn't realize a neighborhood was on the other side of those trees, but police say they want to avoid a tragedy by getting the word out now. Live in the studio tonight, I'm Keaton Fox, Fox 25 News.
In Stillwater tonight, a new plan for parking. New rules change the price of parking tickets, but it's the amount of time you have to pay that is catching some people by surprise. Fox 25's Keaton Fox joins us now live from Stillwater with reaction. Keaton.
Hey, Mike, good evening to you. Yeah, park in a spot like this any day for longer than the time allotted, you get a ticket, there's no surprise there. But now here in Stillwater, those prices are going up and you don't have a lot of time to pay up. On this busy street near downtown Stillwater, this is not the first ticket for Joshua Salinas today.
I came out earlier and there was a ticket, and then just came out now and there's another ticket.
What was a trip to the insurance agency turned into more than just a chore.
It's flawed, really flawed. They're just out for revenue.
The city's new parking ticket plan sets violations at $10, $20, or $30 depending on what you do wrong. Parking over the line, for example, will cost you $20. But you're on the clock. You only have 48 hours to pay for your ticket or the fine doubles.
Some people do live paycheck to paycheck, so some people don't just have $20 right in their pocket right then.
They're not open before I get there and closed by the time I get home. 2 days is not enough time.
City officials say the plan is designed to keep spaces open and available for customers, and they say it's the first increase since 1999. And they add if you're inside a business and get a ticket, many waive the fine if you're doing legitimate business. Still, the idea irks many downtown who say it's a little too much.
A warrant for parking over 90 minutes? Come on now.
Now, this whole thing started with a study that the city paid for on parking that suggested these fees double, but that study suggested that the fees be paid in 5 days, not 2. By the way, that study also said that most cities the size of Stillwater have 7 to 14 days to pay those fines. We're live in Stillwater tonight. I'm Keaton Fox, Fox 25 News.
Testing for Oklahoma kids is coming up fast, but tonight there's a real concern about whether that technology used in the standardized tests is ready to go. Fox 25's Keaton Fox is live tonight to explain exactly what this means for these crucial exams. Keaton.
Hey, Mike, good evening to you. Yeah, we've all had our share of computer problems. We deal with those every day. But school districts across the state are only days away from the beginning of standardized tests. And they say those problems could mean the difference between an A+ and an F. School districts across Oklahoma are getting ready for crucial exams. For some students, it means passing and moving on to the next grade. But districts are reporting big computer problems.
I push go and it doesn't go. And we want that to stop. We want to be done with that. And so that's a big problem with our people.
El Reno schools spent more than $1 million buying new computers in December. On Friday, the company the state hired to run the online testing told them those computers were good to go. Tuesday, the company called back saying the computers were not ready. For El Reno, now it's back to square one just days before testing is set to begin.
Preparing for online testing is it's really a perpetual deal. We have somebody working on that all the time.
Superintendent Craig McVeigh says the biggest problem is when the computer will suddenly log a student off the computer in the middle of a test. And And that frustration isn't just on the school's IT staff.
We're hearing parents that have third graders that are having to put them on anti-anxiety medicine. And, you know, that shouldn't be the purpose of testing.
The Oklahoma State Department of Education says it's working hard to resolve all issues. The department says in a statewide computer stress test of nearly 40,000 logins, 3,000 had some kind of problem. But the Oklahoma Education Association says it expects more from a company that's getting so much state education money.
Testing is a business. And I think we have to be very careful when we spend our taxpayers' money.
For a district like El Reno, testing is costing a lot. The brand new computers it bought in December will be outdated in a few years, and the process will begin all over again.
That's a big strain financially on the district.
Now, Mike, that testing begins a week from today, and the company that's running the testing for the state says that the problems are not system-wide. Instead, they say the problems are on the user end. We'll keep you posted on how things go. We're live tonight. I'm Keaton Fox, Fox 25 News.
Up front at 9:30 tonight, there's a bittersweet event tonight in Ponca City.
After being abandoned for years, a drive-in theater there gets a chance to show one last film. Fox 25's Keaton Fox is live for us tonight in Ponca City. Good evening, Keaton.
Mike, Wendy, good evening to both of you. What you're seeing behind me tonight is historic, a movie on the screen here at the Airline Drive-In. After 60 years of being in this community, this is one final run before all this comes to an end. It's been a long time since these gates at the Airline Drive-In have been open for anyone to see a movie on the big screen. The old projector sits outside the old projection room, which is full of old movie reels. But there's a lot of new energy over one last film. It started with Doyle Brewer, who runs the House FM. He drove by the land and left a note for the owner.
I just wanted to talk to him about a dream I had about opening it one more time.
The landowner was on board, so he got to work planning the big event, which took a lot of work.
If you would have seen this place, even the old ticket booth, it was just totally covered in trees. It just, everything has just been cleaned up everywhere.
Using some new technology to project on some not so new technology, for a few final nights, a relic will come alive. For many folks here, this is the last time they'll see this screen standing before they demolish it and put in a housing addition. For them, it's a chance for them to relive a little of their past and bring the present generation to it.
That'd be awesome.
Using FM radio, cars can tune into the film. From far and wide, folks came here to see a movie and a little bit of time gone by.
My wife and I used to come out here to the drive-ins, and we used to come out here all the time and watch movies and stuff, and then when they kind of closed, it was kind of sad. But being the last go-round, it's kind of a special deal to get to come back.
And the movie being shown here over my shoulder is God Is Not Dead. By the way, it's kind of dark, it's difficult to see, but this place is packed tonight. So packed that the organizers here say they hope to add a few more showings before they tear this old screen down. I'm live in Ponca City tonight. I'm Keaton Fox, Fox 25 News.